Cheers, everybody. This is going to be one of my most unusual vlogs ever. And it's going to be taking us into the realms of business skills and life skills, interpersonal skills. Now, I'm doing this because of my background. Everybody knows I've been a developer for a long time, since the 90s, but I've been in business for longer. I've been in business since I've been 18. I started my first company at 18 years old. And in fact, that was the last time I held a job working for somebody else. And I was a bouncer in a nightclub. So, yeah. So I'm going to start bringing that into more and more of my videos. And I'm going to clearly title them to separate the code or the developer related videos versus entrepreneur and life skills. Now you're saying to yourself, well, life skills, what does that have to do with business? Well, it has to do with everything, in fact. The life skills videos, if you're a developer, I would say you should watch these videos more than anything else. A lot of these lessons that I'm going to be talking about here are things I wish somebody would have told me when I was much younger. Now, some of them, yes, I was actually, some of the things I'm going to be talking about over the next many videos are lessons that I learned from some of my mentors. Guys, some of them very, 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 very wealthy people, very successful people. And yeah, so I'm going to impart that onto you guys and a whole bunch of more things. So there's a few things I'll discuss in this video. Number one, I had a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine who is in HR, human resources, and has been for quite a while, 2 decades now. She's highly experienced. And in our conversation, she brought up a very interesting point. She said that when they evaluate candidates, they look at technical skills. You have to have the chops, the skills to be able to perform. But what they pay much more attention to is whether or not your personality will fit into the culture of the business. This is huge. You know, in other words, whether or not you're not a jerk, whether you're somebody who can get along with other people, who can communicate well, who can listen well, somebody who can fit in and work with other people. Because a company is a company. Like you have company, you have people, friends, your company. If you have company come over, a company is really just a group of individuals who work well together. And as one of my mentors told me a long, long time ago, he'd rather have a moderately skilled employee who's easy to get along with, can speak well, and gets along with people. He'd rather have this person than a genius who's a total jerk. Remember that. Very successful entrepreneur, one of my mentors, worth maybe 100, 200 million now. And he told me that. He had many companies, by the way, not just one company. He's not a one-hit wonder. Many companies, different areas. He would start new companies, buy companies, and and manage all these things. And again, he said he'd rather have a moderately skilled person technically, but who's easy to get along with, than somebody who's a superstar skill-wise, but is a total jerk. Because his experience taught him that the super capable total jerk is going to be just a cancer to your company. So if you're in software development and let's say you're pretty comfortable with your JavaScript, you know your Node well, and you can do stuff, and you're trying to decide, what should I learn next? Well, I would say if you're already pretty competent as a developer, I would put some time into learning how to become a better communicator, to be better at dealing with people, better at writing. These types of skills will pay off far more, now that you already have your technical base, than learning another language or learning another framework. That's just my 2 cents on that. So back to my friend who's in a senior position in HR. She was saying, yes, they pay much more attention to the interpersonal skills of the candidates than anything else. She said a very important thing. From their experience, they've seen it's a lot easier to train somebody up technically than it is to try to, for lack of better terms, train them up in terms of interpersonal skills, being just a good person, easy to get along with, somebody who can communicate and get along with the culture. Much more difficult to transform this person from a jerk to being a non-jerk than giving them technical skills. So keep that in mind. So you want to anti-jerkify yourself if you're getting into the workforce, whether you're going to be working for a company, whether you're going to set up your own business where you have to deal with clients. A big part about dealing with clients, I could, again, tell you from experience, is being able to listen to your clients' needs and truly try to understand what they want, what they need, what's going to be useful to them. Because at the end of the day, if you are a software developer, you are essentially providing a skill. That's it. You're providing a set of services, a skill. Like a waiter provides a service of bringing the food. A jerk waiter is not going to get the tip, and a jerk software developer is not going to get the references. So keep that in mind. So that's the first part of this video. Second part, I'm going to end this video with something that's going to be totally weird and out of character, but something I stumbled across when I was 18 or 19, and it worked wonders. And it's the most amazing dating tip ever. You've never heard this before. I guarantee nobody on the interwebs has ever mentioned this or said this. This is my strategy. I should trademark it. And it works wonders. So before I get into this unbelievable dating tip, which you're going to probably find pretty entertaining, let me just go over two things about your humble speaker here, me. First of all, define autodidact.
Autodidact, a self-taught person.
That's me. I have taught myself many different programming languages. I taught myself business, did a lot of reading and stuff. So I'm a self-learner who I've learned much more outside of school than I have in school, and I did university. So that's one thing about me. Define polymath.
Polymath, a person of wide-ranging knowledge or learning.
Eclectic.
What do you mean? Eclectic, deriving ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources.
There you go. So these three unusual terms describe me. Not by design, just by, that's how I am. That's how my brain is wired. So you've noticed if you're watching my previous vlogs, I talk about how I learned from martial arts lessons. I applied these to my coding. I apply them to my business. I apply them all over the place, and vice versa, and back forth and so on. And I bring this up because it's going to foreshadow what I'm going to be doing with these blogs or vlogs going forward. I'm going to bring in these strands from these different fields of study that I've jumped into, whether it be in martial arts, whether it be as a published author and doing a lot of writing. It's a certain skill there. Software development, of course, my design background, etc., business background, and there's other things as well. So I'm going to be bringing these all in because that's what I actually do in my thinking. Whenever I approach a situation, I'm always looking at all these different experiences. So I'm trying to put together this web, if you will, to present it to you guys in a concise way. Anyway, so this dating tip, or this pickup tip, if you will, is something I developed when I was 18 or 19. And what the problem was when you're younger, at least for me at the point, was you're always a little nervous to go meet women, right? To go up to them, talk to strangers. For a lot of people, that's like death, you know? So what I decided to do was to flip my motivations on this. So people don't like rejection, right? You go up to a girl and she rejects you, you're like, you know? So I can speak to that in other vlogs, but here's the trick. I decided that I was going to make a game of it. So I told a few buddies of mine, I said, what we're going to do is we're playing a game. It's called Get Rejected. And the point of the game is to get rejected as much as possible. And so we would see a girl, and one of us would go up to her and just be silly, stupid, with the intention of getting rejected. And all our friends would watch, and the better the rejection you got, like everybody's like, yeah, good job, man. That was a really good rejection. And it became super funny because you were really motivated to see how badly you could get rejected. So you'd go up to girls and, act silly and, and whatever. And it was just very entertaining. But what happened was, strangely enough, you started failing at getting rejected. You started meeting all these women, and it was very effective in terms of meeting women, because you just go up to them and you're totally confident because you're assuming you're going to get rejected, and you're hoping you're going to get rejected because that's the whole point of the game. And what happens, you come in there very confident and very calm, and all of a sudden you're not rejected. Anyway, that's my weird tip.